I mean, it's a time and place for everything, you know what I'm saying? But even when that comes in place, you still don't have to be side-eyed about what you have on and why you have it on and why you're not on the latest trend type of stuff. So I see what he's coming from with that. And as for Canadians, that's pretty neat, you know, to just keep y'all lifestyles, how y'all like to live it, without having someone put it on you being like, yeah, bro, that's 2020. That's no, that's 2002 gear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel that.
Because labels does not mean that you know how to dress nice.
Yeah, bro, you could still be a lame.
Right. And
I'm just saying.
And you could dress nice without labels.
Facts. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction.
Yes.
Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 100K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's go into the video.
What's up, YouTube? This video is all about culture shock. And I'm not talking about the cold weather in Canada or the food. I'm talking about these things that you would not know until you live in here for a minute.
Like
I'm experiencing it. I'm sure there are many other people about to experience it too. So if you're living in Canada or you're planning to move to Canada and you want to hear some real world experiences, stay tuned for this video.
I don't know. I feel like I could guess it. Either the Bahamas, and he probably won't even say it in here, but either the Bahamas or the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, you can hear it though in his accent.
Yeah.
And he's true to it. So I don't know how long he's been in Canada.
He's a student.
But right, but you know, for so many years you have to, you know what I'm saying, back and forth. But yeah, let's get into it.
So yeah, guys, the first thing I really experienced moving to Canada, and it just made me go like, wow, didn't know it was like that, was the fact that although it's multicultural and it's diverse, the cultures still kind of stick to their own, you know, and it sounds strange, right, because Canada advertises this melting pot of people, but the reality is people stick to what they know, unless you live in like in a really condensed area where you have to interact with certain individuals. People from different countries just stick to themselves, and especially for new immigrants who don't know anything or is not as adventurous or sociable, you're going to see that people from different countries hang out with each other and they rarely interact.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Golly.
It's culturally diverse, but it's not really inclusive for everybody. For example, you go to certain areas, you're going to see people from China, they're going to stick to their people. You see people from India, they're going to stick to their people. People from Africa and certain countries in Africa, they are not going to just be meshed together in most situations. And there are going to be some one-off situations where you're going to meet some nice people from a different country and you really develop friendships with them. But generally speaking, you're going to see people speaking in their own languages and they're hanging out with each other. So if you come from a small country, it's going to really be frustrating to get to know other persons because
it don't bother me nothing.
Yeah, it don't bother me either, because I feel like if I want to speak to someone, I'm going to go up to him and speak to him regardless, unless it's like a real, you know, one of those situations. So that really doesn't bother me.
I'm going A and B, and I'm back. You know, like, living where we are now, you know what I'm saying, had we been home, we would have been known, and I would have known everybody as well. But being where we're at now, no one knows us, you know what I'm saying? And I just like the smooth movements.
Keep it that way.
I like the smooth movements. I go, you know, my motion is just that, and it's nice and smooth, so it's not too much craziness going on.
Yeah, I like to keep it
but like
that
you
way
said, yeah, it's not hard, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's, you know, depends on your personality, if you want to make a friend or not, but, you know, it's if you're looking for one. You're looking for one.
But I have heard, you know, Canadians say that they are a melting pot and they accept everyone. Yeah. And, you know, especially in like our comparisons between Canada and the United States, we hear that a lot about in Canada, they're more accepting to to their cultures. In the United States, they say that we're not, but I beg to differ. I feel that we are accepting. I feel like we shop at Chinese stores, we shop at Indian stores, like they're in our communities.
Yeah, let's just all work on hospitality, all right?
Yes.
We don't owe nobody nothing, but at the end of the day, it's all right to be nice.
Yeah.
And show people that you come from a good background.
Yeah, you can learn things from other people.
100%.
People are not as welcoming as advertised, and it's just my personal experience. Some others can have different experiences with people, but I know for me, studying as an international student, when I went into class, I saw it on the first day. Certain guys sit with each other and they didn't do any group projects with anybody else. They just stick to what was comfortable for them. So it could be really difficult if you're coming from a small country and you really want to interact and socialize with people. So my advice would be find activities that you really love and you're going to meet people that way. The second culture shock I experienced in Canada, I think, is the fact that college in Canada is not really the goal for most immigrants. And I know that may be a no-brainer for some people, but contrary to belief, many of us actually come to learn. But there are so many people who really just use college as just a gateway. And the educational system in Canada is amazing, but I think when you have so many people who are just trying to get in and get out, it really has an effect on the quality of education. And for me personally, when I went into class, I really wanted to do extremely well, and I had this perception that it's going to be extremely competitive. But in reality, a lot of students, they just come through and they just want a degree because they want to get the work permit, they want to get the PR. Rightfully so, that's a part of immigration. But college in Canada, unless you go into like a top tier university, most of the technical schools, people are just in and out. So the school
question, and he mentioned that, going to school, people go just for the degree and they get out, as they come in. But how can that come off as competitive, though?
What do you mean competitive?
Well, he mentioned that he said it's not competitive. He says like people are like out the way.
Well, he said that some of them just want the work permit to, I guess eventually become a Canadian citizen.
Okay.
Not really sure what he means by the competitiveness because I wasn't an international student.
Oh.
So I really don't know.
Maybe I gotta hear it again. Yeah. Maybe I gotta hear it again.
I do know that in my college, like international students, they were not grouped with the general population.
Yeah.
So and not in terms of socialization, in terms of their studies.
Studies, yeah, so, and I think that's important, though.
Yeah, so
that's important.
Maybe he means like that way. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, let's hear it.
And I had this perception that it's going to be extremely competitive. But in reality, a lot of students, they just come through and they just want a degree because they want to get the work permit, they want to get the PR. Rightfully so, that's a part of immigration, but
maybe to get a spot,
And that's how I'm looking at it, you know what I'm saying? Because with my course, and like when the teacher was on the board and he was explaining how we supposed to do everything with the system, people was quick.
Right.
Quick. Everybody was like trying to make sure that they got every single thing down whenever he said it, because he would move on and he wouldn't wait on nobody.
Right.
Maybe in that sense, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not really sure. I'm not well versed in international studies. So.
And then when it's time to like partner with somebody so you can catch up and do things like that, some people wouldn't want to partner.
I don't know.
So I don't know. Maybe that could kind of be a
scholarships. Maybe, I don't know. Y'all help us out with that.
Yeah.
I wasn't, an international student, so it really didn't concern me and didn't pique my interest.
In Canada, unless you go into like a top tier university, most of the technical schools, people are just in and out. So the schools know it, the communities know it, the government knows it. So my advice to international students is don't just come to graduate and get a work permit and PR, put some effort into your studies, because you're paying like 5 times as much as anybody else. You might as well try to do your best in the class.
I got it. You might as well do your best. That's what he's talking about, competitiveness. He ain't talking about amongst the people. He's talking about with yourself. People come in for the easy ticket and they don't try to go all the way up with it and say, I can be this big timer in this field that I'm coming to school for. I think that's what he's going with it.
Yeah, but maybe, maybe people's home life isn't what they want. So schooling is their gateway to live in Canada.
Just to get in and get out.
Yeah, earn that degree, get that work permit, and create the life they want to live. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I don't. College is not for everybody, and I'm speaking as a college graduate. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And also pick a career that you're going to enjoy, not just come to Canada to get a piece of paper, just to get a job, because a lot of international students do that. And now that the economy is really being affected by everything that's going on, you don't want to just spend $40,000, $50,000 on a degree that you don't even like just to get status. That makes no sense to me. I don't know, I could be wrong, but it's just logical. Try to do your best, try to integrate into the community and learn. The third culture shock I think I experienced is the fact that people are not as sociable and friendly as advertised, especially when it comes to family. Families are not as connected as I thought they would have been, because I come from a place where, especially the elderly, we really care for the elderly, and it's really like frowned upon to put your grandmother in a retirement home or something like that. But in Canada, there's just so many people, and family members move to different cities and provinces, and sometimes people tell me they haven't seen their grandparents in years, and that really shocked me, because grandparents are treasured, especially in the Caribbean. We really respect them and we care for them until death. So that was really strange for me, and family is really important for me. So it's difficult moving to a place where people are just on the go. Like, they don't really have time to stop and chat as much anymore. And especially now with everything that's happening, nobody really wants to get too close, We're trying to stay safe, socially distancing, and I think that's going to have an effect on the next generation, because we already have technology that's prohibiting people from actually having real conversations. So just imagine now with that distance, people are already not as connected to family. It's going to be tough. So that was a culture shock for me, because having real life communication and connection with family is important.
That's funny you mentioned that, because people are going to be talking to the top of their other people's head, because their head going to be down in some electronic. And then social distancing is just a bonus to that, you know what I'm saying? Give you a reason to not want to be around nobody. So that's funny.
So when it comes to family, structures and family values, like in the United States, we say it often, that it just depends on that particular family, that particular person.
Yeah.
We're not like the Caribbean and in Africa, and I know Africa is a continent, because some people be coming to the channel for the first time and they be like, Africa is not a country. I know it's a continent, but there's countries in Africa, the people, they're more community based.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Here in the United States, it's not like that. It depends on the family,
right? And
so I'm guessing it's the same in Canada.
Yeah, some families are just broken.
Right. Trauma.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's another topic. Yeah. But you guys get it.
At least where I came from. So that's something I didn't really expect. The fourth culture shock I experienced moving to Canada was just recognizing that work is work. Like, people don't really discriminate when it comes to finding a job. And that economical and social class is not really a big thing in Canada. Nobody cares about if you're wearing the latest sneakers or the latest clothes and stuff like that. The chances are you're just trying to stay warm. And I actually love that, because it gives people an opportunity to just live their life. You don't have to be worrying too much about material things. Like, some people, they live in a small basement apartment, or they live somewhere, they go to work every day, they save their money, or they do what they have to do, and they live privately. And even though it's kind of antisocial, it gives a lot of people room to just be themselves and not have to worry about always looking the best. Sometimes you're not going to look your best and you're not going to feel your best. But in Canada, nobody really cares about that. Unless you're going on a job interview, of course, you want to look the part, right? But for the most part, I haven't really seen a lot of that. Maybe in certain areas, clothes and shoes and things are important, but in the grand scheme of things, nobody really cares about what you're wearing. Just do what you gotta do. The final culture shock, I think.
Okay, so this is my question to our Canadians. Do you guys find that it depends on the area you live in? Like, if you live in a big city, like one of the popular cities, do it matter what you have on?
Yeah.
But in like the small country towns, it doesn't really matter, because that's basically what we have here. It really don't matter. But if you are a real adult, like we are a real adult, we don't care. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a time and place for everything, you know what I'm saying? But even when that comes in place, you still don't have to be side-eyed about what you have on and why you have it on and why you're not on the latest trend type of stuff. So I see what he's coming from with that. And as for Canadians, that's pretty neat, you know, to just keep y'all lifestyles, how y'all like to live it, without having someone put it on you being like, yeah, bro, that's 2020. That's no, that's 2002 gear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel that.
Because labels does not mean that you know how to dress nice.
Yeah, bro, you could still be a lame.
Right. And
I'm just saying.
And you could dress nice without labels.
Facts. It's another conversation for another day.
Experience, and it made me really think about life, was the fact that people move to Canada for so many different reasons, and it made me more grateful for the fact that I had a great life in the Bahamas in comparison to so many people who I meet, moving to Canada is like a do or die.
Bahamas was your second.
No,
was the first?
I said either the Bahamas or the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah, then you said Jamaica last.
Yeah, I said Jamaica last.
And I agree with Jamaica before the Bahamas. So, okay, Bahamas, yeah.
A situation, and it wasn't for me, so it really made me more humble. It made me appreciate where I came from and what I have, because some people spend their last to move to Canada, and when they arrive, they don't have anything, and they literally start from zero. So if you're somebody in that type of situation, I salute you, man. And if you're somebody who is fortunate or well off and you move to Canada, you might realize that, hey, the life I left wasn't actually so bad, because they have so many immigrants in Canada that are struggling. And I also didn't know that. I thought that most people, when they move to Canada, they just live in the life. And that's the perception you hear when you're back home in your country. You don't know the reality of what it's like to live in Canada. So, like I said, you have to be here to really see what's up. You just don't know until you get here, man. So that's culture shock. It was not the typical culture.
Yeah, so that was it.
Okay. Oh, that sure is it.
Yeah, that's it. He's closing it out.
All right. Again, I like his opinions and his experience that he had. You know what I'm saying? Because it's good to know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's good to know. And you can't knock somebody for having their experience where they had
their experiences. Because it's one thing to be from a place, born and raised, and feel that it's a certain way. But when someone who's not born and raised there come in and they're like, no, y'all are actually like this. You know, it's interesting. Their perspectives is interesting. Yeah. And their perspectives are valid. You can't, invalidate somebody's experiences. It
doesn't make anybody a bad person.
Right. That's just his culture shock.
Yep.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.